Hi guys, it's Kat. So today is part 2 of the Dollar Tree Makeover series. And this time I've done something in an industrial style. This is an industrial console table to be exact. And this one is comprised of, well, what would be the miniature version of reclaimed wood and steel. Most of the components, of course, are made with wood. And then for the actual silver part of the metal, I'm using aluminum foil. So let's go on ahead and get started. We're going to start with the basic Dollar Tree desk. And like the last time, we're going to start pulling this apart using some acetone. Now you can pick up 100% acetone in pretty much any drugstore, convenience store, or nail supply store. And I'm going to use the Q-tip to kind of just dab some of that acetone in place. And first I'm going to remove the knobs, and I'm going to do a total breakdown of this piece. Mostly because it's kind of in a weird way, like the front panel is not in straight, and the legs are also not straight either. So just to make sure we can straighten everything up, we're going to go on ahead and break it all the way down. I pull the legs off first. And then I use my X-Acto knife or any sort of blade to just kind of slide between the front and the top. You can pull off that panel, and then if you pour a little more acetone along the back, you can actually break that little section off as well. And that way I have the sides, the top, the front, the back, and the part that goes underneath the drawers separate. I'm going to start with the top of the piece first. And because the industrial style is very flat and angular, and this particular desktop has a beveled look top, I'm going to flip the top upside down. Then I'm gluing the legs back in place. And so I can go on ahead and get this to dry before I need it, I'm going to take the very front panel where the drawers are and wrap that in a couple of layers of aluminum foil. Don't spend too much time trying to straighten it out. You want to just glue that in place and smooth it on. Now I use white glue in E6000 because I added a couple of layers of this, but I do prefer the white glue over the E6000. Do the same things with the side panels, and you can go on ahead and do the back panel as well. I'm going to add some quick handles by using a staple gun, line it up, and just shoot the staples in. You want to make sure you have something underneath this, like a popsicle stick, in case you have long staples, and that way they won't break into your board or your table. And you can see where they've slightly protruded through mine. And go on ahead and put that piece to the side and allow it to finish drying. Next, I'm going to use some matchsticks. I used about 10 of them, and I painted them black. And while I had my black paint out, I went on ahead and painted the legs of the console table black as well. Of course, it doesn't look like a console table now. Next, I'm going to use 1 1/3 of a matchstick across the very top where the front drawer will go. And then you can glue the drawer in place right underneath the matchsticks. Allowing that to dry, I'm going to go ahead and start working on this other bottom piece. First, I'm going to sand off the Dollar Tree logo that was stamped on the bottom. And next, I'm going to stack this on top of something that's an equal length. In this case, I'm using 2 staples, but you can also use bottle caps or stacks of quarters, whatever you have handy. and that way I can just slide the rest of the table on top of it, and it will glue in place and hold without me having to worry about whether it's even or not. Then I added more matchsticks at the bottom of that plank and the bottom of the drawer. I also remembered to do the sides and the bottom. To make sure that my beveled edge is completely hidden, I glued 3 coffee stir sticks all the way around the table surface. Then I used wood glue to fill in all the gaps and sanded it smooth before continuing. And now I'm using just a light stain that I've made out of paint. This is yellow, brown, and a little touch of red paint. And I brushed that on and then sanded it off, and then brushed it on again and sanded more off. And then I used some of the leftover stain, just kind of give an aged look to the front drawers. I used some nuts and bolts and some other little found pieces to make a quick sculpture. And that's it. You're done. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.